Happy Friday. Thank you for joining me. My name is Lori, and I am with Harvest Lane Stampers. Today is March 10th, and I'm going to get you ready for next Friday, which is St. Patrick's Day. All right. So what I have for you here today is the Lucky Clover stamp set, the Lucky Clover Punch, and then I'm also going to be using these stylish shaped dies. So those are the three things that I am going to be using in all three of the cards. All right. Then I am going to use, I don't know about you, but I have so much celebration paper left over, and I decided to use some of the paper from this Favored Flowers paper. So I still had some left, and so that's the paper that I'm going to use in my first card. That's what we're going to be using. Here's the Lucky Clover stamp from the mini catalog. Now, the mini catalog will be good through the end of March and then April. And then as things expire, they're not coming back. We're getting a new catalog, a new annual catalog, and we'll get new in colors, and it'll be a really fun time of the year. Okay, then the other thing that we are going to use is the gold foil sheets. So let me get my first card out, and let me show you what we're going to make. All right. I really tried hard to find something completely different than what other people were making in online. So I did this fun fold with the gold foil that I was just telling you about. I used the punch and some ribbon. I used very vanilla paper, and then inside we have a good friend is like a 4-leaf clover, hard to find, lucky to have. So let me show you how I did this one. The first thing I did is I took a piece of Evening Evergreen, because that's the base that I used on my card, and I cut it at 4 1/4 by 11, and then I scored it. Sorry about that. I scored it on the two sides at 2.75 and 2.75. So I have already done that. Probably to say, okay, Mom, you can come over now. So yeah, after I'm done, I am going over to hold my grandbaby. All right. So I'm just going to take my two sides on the fold line, and I'm going to fold them in. And then I'm going to use my bone folder and just crease the lines. Then I took my gold foil and I cut my gold, my specialty gold, at 2 1/2 by 4. And I cut two of those, 2 1/2 by 4. And those are going to go right here. So let's just use some Stampin Seal. And excuse me if I get my head in here. And I'm just going to try to make it even all the way around the sides. And then I'll put it on the other side. Yeah, so they named her Rue, baby Rue. And per Cody and Christina, they don't want pictures on Facebook, so we're not going to be posting any pictures. She's just going to be private for the family. All right. Then we used this designer series paper, which was the one that I showed you from the celebration catalog. I thought this paper was so pretty. I thought it kind of looked like a pot of gold, is what it kind of reminded me of. So these two pieces are going to be 2 7/16 by 3 7/8. And you don't have to remember these because I will put these below. You can go over to my YouTube channel and you can get the dimensions off of my YouTube channel if you're interested in making this. All right. And again, I did 2 of those, one for each side of the book fold. I really don't even know what this fun fold is called, but it kind of reminded me of a book, so that's what I'm calling it. Oh, gotta be careful sitting it down. All right. So I have that. Then I use my punch. And I punched out one in Evening Evergreen, and I also punched one in the gold. So those will go on the front here. Then I grabbed a piece of Very Vanilla, and I just did this like I normally would have. So I would have done 4 by 5 1/4. So this would be 4 by 5 1/4. But before I put this on the inside of my card, I want to make sure that I stamp it. That way I don't have to try to rip it off and tear my card all up. So I'm going to use my Stamparatus, and I'm going to put my card right here in the middle. And then we're going to grab a good friend. Whoops, everything fell out. And I just want mine to be like right here. So I'm just making sure that it is lined up on both sides and that it's straight. I'm going to pull this over, just kind of make sure it's straight on those lines. And I decided to use Evening Evergreen. Now this is going to be one of the end colors that is going to leave, which makes me sad because I like this color. But Evening Evergreen is the color that I'm using here. And then I'm just bringing it over and pressing down. Now the nice thing about the Stamparatus is if I don't get a good stamp, everything stays right where it is and I can stamp again. But I got a good stamp. I'm happy about it. So I'm going to clean my stamp off. And then I also put a little clover down here at the bottom. So while I have my card on here, I'm just going to put that clover there and go ahead and open my door back up and just put a little bit of, and again, if I don't get enough on it or if I'm not happy with the stamp, I can re-stamp it. And again, I used Evening Evergreen on this. And then also you can always make sure with using the Stamparatus, sorry, I'm out of view. I'm going and I'm not even paying attention. You can also see if you accidentally get green on the sides. Because if you get green on the sides and then you push down and you push on this, you could get a green outline. So that's another reason why I really like the Stamparatus. I can really control my stamping. All right, so the inside of my card is done. So let's put this in. And I'm just flipping it over. Again, I am adding some Stampin Seal. You can use glue if you want to. And then I'm just coming in here, making sure I have good borders all the way around. And then I'll press down. All right. Then let's go to the inside of the card. So I'm going to bring back my Stampin' Sure that's in the corner. It did move when I took it off, so it shouldn't have, but it did. And if this one doesn't turn out okay, then that's all right. We will get another piece of paper. And it did. It turned out just fine. So I'm happy with it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and use my scissors. I'm going to cut the side at an angle like I had it. And then I'm going to cut this side. And you can't even see that I messed up on the other side. So that'll be just perfect. All right. So I have my punches. I have my stamp, sentiment, and I am going to use champagne rhinestones. And then I already went ahead and did my bow for us. So first thing I did is I wanted my clover to go like this. So I'm only going to be doing part of my clover. Make sure you can see me. I'm only putting part of my clover with Stampin Seal, not on the whole thing. And then I'm sticking it on. Then I'll put what I want over here. So let's just do the same thing. I'm just doing half of my clover with the Stampin Seal. And we'll go like that. Then I'm going to use oh, look at that. I got some on. That's okay. It won't hurt. Okay, then I got a glue dot. I'll take my glue dot off. And I put my glue dot right there on the stem. Then I took Dimensionals and I only put it on half of my St. Patrick's Day. And I'm just making sure that my sticky is on the right side. Right there. Then we'll use my Take Pick tool. And I'm going to grab a big one for up here in the corner. And then I'll grab a medium one for over here. Let's come out right there. And then let's grab a little one for right here. And there we go. 2 St. Patrick's Day cards. Happy St. Patrick's Day. When you open it up, a good friend is like a 4-leaf clover. Hard to find and lucky to have. So, okay, that's my first card. Please hit like or subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Also, if you would like to see the other cards that I made today, go ahead and check out the other videos.